Hi everybody, we are in Big Cypress National Preserve in Florida. If you have never been here, this place is incredible. The scenery here is so beautiful. There's so much wildlife here. It's just literally everywhere. There's lots of gators, beautiful big cypress trees. We have the opportunity to check out 4 different campgrounds here in this national preserve, each super cool and offering something a little different. Make sure to check out this video, that way you can pick the right campground for you. The first campground we will be checking out is Monument Lake. This campground is located just a short distance off of Highway 41. There are 26 RV sites situated around the lake and a tenting area. However, they stuffed it behind the bathrooms. There are no hookups at this campground. However, there is a potable water spigot near the bathhouse. Here's the shower, flush toilet, and a hot shower. They only have one stall here for showers. The rest are just toilets. Nice little hook to put all your stuff in and a bench. Not bad. This is the only campground within Big Cypress that has showers. There's actually a cell tower right on site, so the cell service here is excellent. The sites here are decently spaced out. You get a picnic table and a fire pit. However, during our visit, there was a burn ban in place. If you are wondering, the answer is yes, there are alligators in this lake. This is pretty comical to me. There's a bunch of people that have come in for the weekend with small children, and this gator right here is facing them. How funny. I think it's so cool camping right on a lake where you just go out and look for gators. And right now we're actually counting 5 out here. If you look around this campground, this is the dumpster around the shower too. You find all sorts of cool little frogs. This guy is super cool. We thought this campground was very scenic. The lake is pretty big and we enjoyed just walking around it and riding our bikes around the lake. We enjoyed this campground for the cell service and reasonably spaced out sites and would definitely return. The second campground we are checking out in Big Cypress is Burns Lake. This campground is also off of 41, but it is about a mile off the road. They have 6 tent sites on one side of the lake and 8 pull-through RV sites on the other side of the lake. I think this is the smallest of the campgrounds, and that is something that we liked about this one in particular, but we did think the RV sites were all pretty close to each other when they probably could have been spread out a little more. There are limited services here, no hookups, no potable water, and no cell service. We used our Starlink for internet and had no issues with it working here. They do have picnic tables, fire pits, vault toilets, trash, and recycling. We enjoyed riding our bikes and walking around the lake and looking for gators. The camp host told us they had 7 gators there that they knew of. I also enjoyed finding snakes in the road. We only spent 2 nights here, and 3 different times we saw water moccasins in the road coming in from the highway to the campground. If you are unfamiliar with Florida, there are tons of snakes here, and water moccasins are also venomous snakes. So, FYI. Going for a little night bike ride, probably one of the stupider things we've done, and we found a snake. And I'm gonna guess and say this is a water moccasin. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, why don't you scare it off and see how it moves? That'll tell you what it is.
I can't because my bicycle isn't working right now and pedaling is not always possible. Super cool. We never saw any snakes in the camping area. Overall, this was not a bad place to camp. The third campground in Big Cypress we visited is Midway Campground. I would say this is the most popular one to visit because it has electricity. It is the only campground in the preserve to have electricity, and it is not that much more expensive to stay here when you consider paying $28 at Monument Lake to boondock versus $30 at Midway to have power. This campground is off of Highway 41 and is basically right on the highway. The sites here are smaller and you are packed in fairly well, although they do give you a little bit of space. They have 10 tent sites and 26 RV sites, all of which are back in, and they are on paved pads, which is pretty nice. Something else that sets this campground apart is it has a dump station with potable water. It is the only one as well that has a dump station. However, if you are camping at any Big Cypress campground, you are able to use the services at another campground. So, if you are camping at Burns Lake, you can come here to dump and get water. The sites here have a picnic table and fire pit, and there are flush toilets. There is no cell service here, and we were able to use our Starlink without issue for internet. The camp host said there weren't any alligators in the lake when we were there. However, they did say there were a lot of turtles, so they would probably be returning at some point. Because this campground was busier than the others and you are closer together, I didn't love it as much. However, I would still stay here again as it is always a bonus to have electricity and to turn on that AC, especially in the hot and humid Florida. The last campground we are checking out is called Bear Island. We are going to be turning off of 41 onto Turner River Road. Right on the corner is H.P. Williams Roadside Park. They have a cool little boardwalk you can check out and see some gators and birds. After the park, this road turns to gravel and you have a 20-mile drive down this gravel road to get to the campground. The speed limit here says 30 miles per hour, but that is almost a cruel joke because it is very unlikely, especially if you are towing like us, that you will be able to go that fast. It took us a good hour to get down this road, and we also had the added fun of it raining, and boy, did that turn our stuff into a muddy mess. Some parts of the road are better than others, and you will most likely question your decision of going down here, but I promise you it is worth it. The drive itself is also very scenic as well because you basically follow a canal down the whole way. You see tons of alligators and birds. We even saw a monitor. There's a huge old snapping turtle, I'm assuming. Wow, can we get out and look?
If you want.
Yeah, let's get out. Wow.
I'm gonna stay here.
Okay. Although there is no access, you do cross under the part of I-75 known as Alligator Alley. Once you reach the turnoff for Bear Island Campground, it is about another mile before you get to the camping area. There are two sections for camping here. The first will be a left turn into a circle camping loop. There you will find 12 sites spread around the inside and outside of the loop. The second camping area would be to continue straight on the road you came in on, where there are 28 sites along it. All 40 sites here are designated as both tent and RV. However, every single one of them was different. When making a reservation, they do not tell you how big the sites are, so I think it could be challenging on picking a site that you might be happy with. We actually drove through just exploring the area and loved this place so much we found a site we liked and then went to see if it was available. We never actually planned to come here, and if we hadn't have checked it out, we would have greatly missed out on it because Bear Island was our favorite place in Big Cypress to camp despite the 20-mile gravel road. There are no hookups, no potable water, but there are vault toilets and trash and recycling. And also, to our surprise, there were cell service here. This campground was our absolute favorite. It was so beautiful. It was quiet and peaceful. There was hardly anybody there. There are many ORV trails out here that you can get a permit for if you have one, or you could walk or ride your bike like we did. One of the trails we rode took us past a couple really beautiful ponds with nice cypress trees, and we saw the largest gators we had ever seen out here. That is something else that we noticed about being out here is the gators seem to be a lot bigger.
Fine.
What? Ah!
Oh, yeah,
These gators are not like the ones at Shark Valley. Not that they are aggressive. Carl's getting awfully close. I imagine they don't see a lot of people out here. Thanks for checking out our video review on these 4 different campgrounds in Big Cypress National Preserve. We spent 10 nights in total, and it was actually kind of fun to check all these different campgrounds out. And the preserve itself is such an amazing place. There are tons of things that you can do here, such as scenic drives, boardwalks, swamp buggy tours, hiking and biking. Hopefully, this helps you choose which one you might like best, but in reality, I would stay at any of them and still have a great time.